Hey guys, you there? I better shut my fan down. Makes everybody crazy. Hello, hello. I know, we might have a drag. I'm not looking at it on my laptop. Maybe I should, huh? I'm gonna just get up here. Minimize it. Oh, maybe. Oh, I forgot I had my mouse over here. Now if I could only see, right? We'll be doing good. Okay, so there's a couple people on here. That's a good thing, right? Hi, my name is Drew, Dunkin' Ambassador. Even though I guess there's still Dunkin'. Mako's making several different Dunkin' things. Not the whole lines. We're complaining, but hey, they're doing the best they can during COVID. So hopefully we'll get some more stuff going. Just gonna go check my Facebook, make sure on the laptop. I'm sitting far away from it, so we'll see how bad that is, huh? Yeesh. Let me make it big. Bring them on camera. Oh no. See, sometimes this here we go. Hopefully I'm there. I know I'm hindered again tonight. There I am. I don't know how bad the drag time's gonna be, but we're doing this stuff in my office upstairs, not part of my regular ceramic area. And last week I did the stencils, and so I just left everything up here. I moved it around a little bit, and I'm just gonna flip the camera around, let you show you my hindrance here. So it's sort of crazy tonight. So hey, Sue Ellen. All right, Rita, let me just flip the camera around here for a minute. Then I'm gonna try to put it on a stand somehow. But there's my Cricut. Last week I said it's normally in that hole there. That's how I store my vinyl. And my mats go up there on a nail I put in the wall. This time I put my laptop over there so I have more room to work. This is my light. And I have my little baby one that kept falling over last week. And here's a table that I'm working on, a TV table. Here's another TV table that I'm working on. I got the heat press on. And I have various stages of stuff here for you tonight. I got a chair here to put the heat press on. I don't normally do it in this kind of area, but this is what we have to work with today. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to turn it around so you can see my face while I talk here for a couple of minutes. So last week we did stencils, and this week we're doing actually... What are we doing? Not stencils. We're doing silk screens. So basically, you need a cutter to cut your vinyl with. You need whatever software your vinyl cutter uses. You need some kind of heat press. I'm using the Easy Press, or you can't see it, but I'm using the Easy Press. There it is. You need some mesh. And I said I would post this. I didn't have a chance to do it, but I will. I promise to post all these suppliers that I have. I'm using off Amazon Silkscreen printing fabric. It's 80 mesh 32T, and that's what I'm using. Okay, it's worked fine for me. The other thing I use while I'm making these is painter's tape. Or you could use frog tape. And I do it the way I do it to help stabilize the actual silk screen when it's done, okay? I just finished doing this one. And we'll see, how do I show it? Let me turn it around. I just finished doing this one. And it's in the last stages, and we're going to get to that in a minute. But in the meantime, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to put the camera, the wonderful little camera here, on this stand and see if it'll fall over on me. Just 1 second here. Oh yeah, it's gonna fall over. Well, that's okay. Oh, there's more than one way to skin a cat. All right, here we go. Put it in here. Hopefully I don't shut it off. Okay, there we go. There we go. Hey, we did it, we did it. So I have it hooked to this crazy gizmo. Hopefully it's not too crazy, you can see me. And so basically what you do is, I have a Cricut, and I use the Cricut software. So I'm going to turn the camera around. Let's see if I can point it over there to the computer. Oh, I can. Look at that. Slick. Although it's not the stand. There it is. So hopefully, I know it's a little far away, but I'm over here on the mouse. So I'm just gonna go to my Cricut software, which I already have up. Okay. And this is one that I've made before, and I thought it would just be easy for us. But I don't know who needs help with the Cricut software. That's sort of another issue. But I just want to make sure before I go on, can you all hear me okay? Put a thumbs up or something so I know that you could hear me. Uh-oh. Yes, I know, we have a little drag time. Rita's there, Barb's there, Jackie's there. Can you guys hear me? Yes, okay, thanks Marlene. Okay, so basically you're going to use the software that your cutter comes on. Silhouette has their own. Cricut has their own. I think you could also, Cricut I know you have to use their software with. I don't know if you have to use their software with other stuff. So I see Kathy Kangas is there. Brenda's there. So anyway, so you saw my Cricut. That's right there. It's sitting there on the stand next to it. Okay. So we have the Happy Halloween up there. Let's see. Actually, it's attached to that. But I'm going to actually go off this particular project. I'm going to go over here to my projects. And I did a whole bunch of different kind of things already. This is the one that I'm going to show and where I'm going to put on the plate tonight. This was the stencil we did last week. And I haven't fired it, but I did clean it up. So I'm going to put it in front of the camera. I cleaned it up. Some of the little black ran through, but I'll fire that. But I think I'm going to put something around the edge. Maybe some stars. So that's almost ready to go there. I think for right now, I'm just going to put... I did this give thanks on here because this is something that I have been using, only this time instead of making it into a stencil, we will go ahead and let me see what happens here. We'll make it into, it doesn't like it for some reason. Replace it. Let's see what happens. Okay, so it's really big. It's too big, so I'm gonna make it smaller. Sometimes that could be. You could just go over here on this software. You could cheat. Okay, it's hooked together, so you could just go up here. You see, it's going small. If I wasn't so far away, I would just go This is the one that I use on that platter, and that platter takes about a 9-inch across give things. Okay, so we're just gonna make it, that's 10. We're gonna make it 9.5. We're going to move it away from the edge, because when we're doing a silk screen, you want to be away from the edge. And we'll make it 10 like that. Okay, so we have that on there. And what we do is we're going to use the Cricut mat, and we're going to use regular HTV. HTV stands for heat transfer vinyl, and it's this, when I do it, I get bright colors, so I know I'm not ever going to normally make a t-shirt or something with that color, or I'm going to use a green. So I'm going to apply it to my mat, and I'm using the shiny side down, because this is words, we're going to mirror it. Otherwise, our words will not be correct, right? So, we're going to go say, make it. I'm going to, you see it right there? Give thanks. It's all up in there. This is put in as a picture frame. Otherwise, you would have to weld it. And I've had a problem with the eye disappearing on me, but Val fixed it for me. So you'll see over here it says mirror, or it should say mirror. Right here it says mirror. You want to mirror it, because you're cutting on the side up, and you're going to push continue here. My Cricut machine's already on. I have an Air 2. Alright. So it's finding it. Oh, I know, I haven't registered this one. I have 2 other ones. Okay. Now, on the dial for the Cricut, maybe you guys want to see that. Let me just squish that over there a little bit. On the dial, there's the Cricut. So on that dial, it has settings for popular materials. There'll be vinyl, there'll be HTV, there'll be whatever. But in the machine, in the software, if you put the machine on the dot that says customs, you could pick all these other kind of products for it to cut on. And so I put browse all materials. I go down here to vinyl. Let me see. We got paper. It's in alphabetical order. I can't even read it. That's plastic. And here's vinyl. So vinyl should say adhesive. Vinyl, let me see. It's gonna say, should say vinyl. Let me see. Vinyl. Printable vinyl? No. Oh, we're not doing vinyl. Sorry, it's HTV, heat transfer vinyl. So maybe it's still down there under vinyl, but we're gonna go down more. Or maybe we won't. Vinyl, paper, leather, there it is. Iron-on. HTV means heat transfer vinyl, and it is iron-on. Hey, Mandy. Okay, so this is everyday iron-on. It's not anything special. It's really cheap to buy. You can get, 5 feet, 12 by 5 feet, maybe for $4, okay? And so I've made quite a few stencils out of this 4 feet here. So I'm going to click on that. I'm going to say finish, okay? And so it's saying you could adjust your pressure if you need to, but I know for a fact I've already cut on this and it's a new blade, so I don't necessarily need to. I'm going to swing the camera around there a little bit more so you guys could see it go in there. I'm setting actually in front of the light stick, so it's on. Remember, it's already on mirror, and the vinyl shiny side goes down. It has its own carrier transfer tape, so we won't have that same problem we had last week. All right, sometimes this little edge on this particular mat wants to be mean to me. Come on, little baby. I know I'm sending clear across the room, so. Oh yeah, I see somehow my mat got bent a little bit. That's why it doesn't like to go through there. So we'll move it like that. And we'll put this one like that. Push it up against the edge. And so when it's ready, it blinks. So you load it. Okay. And then it's going to say C for cut. And so now it's going to cut. And this is pretty big. It's not going to take long. It's at 3%. But we don't need to watch that cut. We have other things to do. So we'll just swing the camera back over here. I'm going to turn it back to me. Yay! Okay. So, what I wanted to show you was I already cut this one out and I weeded the top part. So, I'm going to put this down a little bit, just a little bit. And I know it's probably not going to stay very good, but this particular product already has the carrier on it. So the word happy, I haven't picked out yet. So I'm just going to do it really quick because I want you guys to know that it's not near the fiasco as what happened last week, okay? So here's the Y already. If I get it off my little sticker here. Here's the P. Rita, have you done any more, Rita? We did 2 while we were at Rita's. And I think we did this Halloween in this piece really quick. So we almost have this one done. It's weeded. Last week's stencil was a really mess, but I promise, look. Oh, maybe have to go turn the thing around. Turn, what am I doing here? Turn it around. There we go. Happy Halloween. Okay, I'm gonna turn it back. Oh, Rita's Cricut is coming on Thursday. Yay! Okay. All right. So after we weed it, so we have this Thanksgiving one done. Let me just go to show you how to take that out of there. Let me flip the camera back around. So it's over there blinking, right? So you're gonna push the button and it pops out, okay? Now I'm gonna bring this back over here because we're basically done with the Cricut machine and we're basically done with the laptop. So we're just gonna move this a little bit here. So I'm gonna peel this off, okay? And what I do is, put this here for now. When I'm doing the HTV, I make sure that, where is it here? Hopefully I have about 1 inch or at least a 1/2 inch around whatever I'm going to turn into my stencil. Okay, so I can see the stencil where it's cut on this. And I'm just going to fold this loosely because these are, you know, I'm not really selling this. Now that's one part of this one I got a little bit too close to the edge. But it's okay, it's going to work. So what I do is I just fold it. I try to make them And then I try to make them like a square or oblong or whatever the size of the silkscreen is going to be. So then the HTV product just goes back, and then you just obviously weed this, this is the give thanks. And so look how easy this stuff weeds. Look, I know you guys were all having a heart attack last week on that stencil, but look at this. This is really, really good. Okay, so this is the T. This is the H. Now, when we did the platter, what I've been teaching, I had not been using a silkscreen because I wanted everybody to have the experience of using a stencil. But I could have just did a few silk screens and everybody could have done that technique using the medium. So you can see how fast this one's going. Right, guys? It's nothing like the last thing. So here's our give thanks. I almost got the thanks done. Alright. I'm using a special weeding tool. It looks like a pin, but it's a real sharp point, like a needle. Actually, I stabbed myself earlier with it. And so you can see, look how easy it's peeling. Sorry guys, I didn't realize you were not in the picture. So here it goes. Maybe turn it down. Oh no, it's not gonna want to do that. I don't know why. I know why. The camera's heavy, that's why. Alright, let's just be mean to me. That's okay. I'm used to being terrorized. I've been terrorized by the best of them. That camera's not gonna win. Tell ya. When you're weeding, make sure you pick the eyes out. In the one that we're gonna do tonight, I forgot the top of the eye. So you see how much easier it is to weed the HTV, and I think this is Sizer Easy Weed. I'm not sure, but there we go. That's the give thanks now. Tell ya. There it is, the give thanks. And that's perfect for that platter that I've been teaching on. Okay? So I'm going to turn that back around, or what am I doing here? Who knows? Buttons, buttons, buttons. So that's just going to sit here. Okay? Now, what you do after you get your vinyl done, cut and weed it, all right? So, we have the Happy Halloween. All right? So, what you do is you cut a piece, and I've already done it, of that nylon fabric, okay? And we're going to iron it with a heat press directly on to that piece of mesh, okay? So I'm going to turn around. I'm going to see, maybe this thing is going to flip around here. I'm going to put the heat press down here. Hopefully you guys can see me. This one I already did. Now, heat presses come in all different sizes and shapes. I have one of those great big ones that turn for t-shirts at my sister's. I actually have a knockoff one. I don't think you guys can see it. A little bitty one. They have a little bitty Cricut for $40. It looks like an iron that comes in your little kid's ironing board, right? So I have that over there, but I think it's too small. It might be all right for a small stencil. But anyway, So here's this Cricut, and I just had it on a few minutes ago. I'm heating it to 305, and I'm only doing this for 15 seconds. Now, what I'm going to do is, this is the, I just cut this really bad, so I'm just going to put, they have pads that you could use, and I bought this at Walmart one day, actually for my daughter, and she didn't want it or didn't need it or something, so I brought it back. So I'm using it because I just went and got this heat press. So I'm going to iron the fabric. Like if you were doing a t-shirt, you might want to get it hot, center it, whatever. And I'm just going to iron it. Basically take the heat press. It's heated up already to 300. It just beeped. So on this particular machine, it's really easy. It has a temperature where you can go up or down, and it has a timer. So this one I set at 305 for 15 seconds. And the bad thing about these heat presses, these Cricut Easy Presses, it's easy because it's easy to carry around, but you have to put pressure on them when you're using HTV, okay? So I'm just going to take it over here, and I'm just going to iron this little piece of, it only takes a minute, okay, because it's hot. See, so now it's nice and flat. I know I have a little cut in it, but it's not hurting anything. Now, I'm going to lay it on there. It doesn't matter if it's on the bias, if it's not on the bias. And I'm going to put it on there. Now, you can't really see it on this piece of wonderful mat that I have, but I'm laying it straight on the mat, okay? Make sure it's in the position that I want it to be, because you don't want it to slide, right? So I'm just laying it here. Now, when you're pressing, you could use a Teflon sheet that you could buy everywhere for cheap, or you can use a piece of parchment paper, okay? I wanted to show you what I found. Instead of a roll of parchment paper, I found a pop-up. You know, like how you get the aluminum foil pop-up? And this comes perfect, because this is only the 9x9. They have a 12x12, and they have a 10x12, but I'm basically only going to use this probably part-time for maybe a grandkid's HTV shirt or Silkscreens. So I don't need a big one. The big ones are heavy. I mean, this is heavy enough, okay? So I'm holding my hand on the stencil here. I think you can see it. Maybe over here. Maybe. There's my hand holding it. I'm just basically holding it so it doesn't move off the piece. Okay, now I'm going to put, this is the parchment paper. I'm just going to lay it straight on there. Okay, I'm not going to let it slide. Now, when you use the heat press, I got it at 305 for 15 seconds. So I'm going to pick it up. I'm going to put it down there. I'm not going to wiggle it. I mean, if my stencil was bigger, I'd pick it up and move it, pick it up and move it. But my stencil's not that big. This is hot. It's really, really hot. Okay. But make sure my cord's not in the way. I'm going to put it here. I'm going to push the C because this is going to cut down. And I'm putting pressure on it. Okay. 4, 3, 2, 1, done. Okay. Alright, and that goes in its tray because it keeps it hot. Now here's the piece. Now it's stuck a little bit to this, but it's not hurting anything. Okay. So then you take it and you're going to peel off the transfer. Look how easy it peels off. Okay? Peels off very easy. This is a warm peel, so it peels off cold too, but look how easy that is, huh? So that is how you make the Silkscreen. Easy peasy, right? Everybody got it? Is silk up or down? There's no up or down to the silk. Okay? Are you using heat transfer vinyl? Grace Smith. Yes, I am. And it's Sizer Easy Weed. It's either matte or shiny. It doesn't matter. Or any kind that you could get, as long as you don't drive yourself insane weeding it. Okay? I have a really cute pumpkin design that I was going to do, but I didn't have time to weed it. But I have some other stuff going. So now what I'm going to do, so it's cool already, and it's stuck on there really pretty good, all right? So what I do to stabilize it, now if you get little wrinkles in it, it's not going to hurt anything in the HTV. I mean, you know, so I'm going to take my scissors, and I'm going to make it into a square. I'm just going to cut it. I'm going to cut off all this little excess. I probably could take a little bit off, but that's okay. I'm going to cut it off. Okay, here we go. Just going to cut it off. Going to make my square. And this is what I do. I mean, I don't know what other people do. Maybe they just use them like this. But what I like to do is I use painter tape or frog tape. Okay. And I'm going to go around the edges. Just 1 second. I'm just going to put it down for a minute. I'm going to take a piece of the blue tape. Okay, where's the end of the blue tape here? It's about that long. I'm going to take it. I'm on the little TV tray. Okay, so what I'm going to do, you see that? I just put the tape like that, and then I'm going to turn the tape over like this. Fold it in half, sort of, or thereabouts, or something like that. Okay. Oh, that one I got a little crooked down in the end, but that's okay. Anyway, so see how that is? So the other side's like this. All right? And then I'm just going to trim the edges. I'm going to do that around all 4 edges. And the reason I do that is it really stabilizes it and makes it lay flatter. That's just how I like to do it. That doesn't mean you have to do it that way, but that's how I like to do it. So I'm just going to do this one. I'm going to finish this one really quick. I think these are the same. This is the same wording that we did at Ruth that one time. There is another. Ruth helped me do this last time at her place. So there is another video out there. I think it's on my YouTube. I do have a YouTube. Or you could probably find it in photos also. It's basically shows you the same thing, maybe not quite in depth. All right, I'm going to do the little sides. Oh, that's not long enough. All right. So like I said, I like to do this because it stabilizes it. Okay? It also, one of the other things it does is when I'm using my Silkscreen medium on it, I know not to go past the little blue line. Okay? Because sometimes you go past your stencil and then you got a ugly mess on your plate or whatever you're putting your Silkscreen on. All right? All right, who has questions? Is the silk up or down when pressing? That's the same thing I think I said. It doesn't matter. There's really no right or wrong to the silk. And one of my other pastimes in life was I made, I sewed a lot. Did anything from tuxedos to wedding dresses, but don't tell anybody. This is similar to a really stiffer chiffon, and there is no other. Yeah, I'm on my mud zone now. Yeah, it's in my mud zone under photos. But it's almost like a chiffon, and you cannot tell if there's a right or wrong. So, and it comes like 3 yards, and the width is really huge. So you can make a lot of stencils with, I think that was $10 on Prime, free shipping. You can make a lot of stencils basically with that one pile. So here is, I'll just flip this around real quick. So here is the stencil, Happy Halloween stencil. All right. So I'm just going to add that to my pile here. So the one I did right before you guys came online, I did a couple different ones. I have this one cut right here. Let me turn it around. I have this one cut. It's a really nice Halloween one. So I'm going to basically do the same thing. Put it on here. Now this is a little bit bigger. It could wrinkle up a little bit more. I think this time I'm going to put a piece of parchment paper on the bottom also. I don't think I could really, so I'm going to just iron out the, I'm just going to iron the piece of silk just a minute to get the wrinkle out of it, because I've had it all in a, okay, so now it's all nice and pretty. So I'm going to put this, I know, see how bad I cut it? I mean, I really did a good botch job there, but it doesn't really matter. So I'm just going to make the stencil get on there, you know, and where there's no paper, you know, it's sticky. HTV is sticky when you weed it out, so it'll stick to your piece a little bit, which is okay. All right, so I'm gonna set it down there. Now, then I'm gonna get another sheet of the parchment paper. Okay, I think you guys could see it a little bit. I'm gonna set that right down there on top. Now this one might be just a little bit wider than the Easy Press, so let's see. I'm going to put it down here, and I'm going to push the button for pushing it. I'm pushing it. Okay. Then I'm just going to lift it up, and I'm going to go to the other side. Let's see, maybe it doesn't take very long. Alright, so I'm going to pick it up. Now, let's see. Let's see if it adhered. Oh yeah, so that works pretty good. Looks like it stuck pretty good. Alright, so I'm just going to get the corner right here, and I'm going to just peel it. See? It's cooling off a little bit, so the more it cools, a little harder it is to peel. But it's okay. Sticking to my little hand. Now this is the side. See, it has a little piece that came up. This is the side that I didn't leave set as long. So what I'm going to do, as soon as I get it peeled, I'm going to go back and I'm going to hit it with a heat press on that side again. Alright? So it's cool. It's cold peeling now. Alright? And you can see even the windows are coming off. See? Even the windows are coming off. See that? So that's pretty good. Alright? Even the windows are coming. Alright? Now the bottom piece is pretty heavy. Some of that grass was the problem over here on the side. And the sheet is sticky. But you see a couple little pieces came off. So what I'm going to do, put that transfer sheet, I'm going to put this back down onto between the parchment papers, okay? And I'm going to put this other parchment paper back down on top. And I'm just going to iron it just a little bit or heat press it on that one side, especially on the bottom. I probably didn't put enough pressure. You need to put pressure, okay? Now, if you had the other kind of heat press, where it has the arm and it comes down, it actually puts the pressure for you. And just because I can, I'm just going to move it just for a minute. And so, make it flat. Okay. So, taking it off there. You know, it sticks a little bit to here. And there it is, nice, and it's stuck. So where it was lifting up just a little bit, you can see now is all good. All right. So basically, again, what I would do, see right there is where it was coming up just a little bit, but now it's stuck really good. All right, so basically, again, I would trim the edges, and then I would put the blue tape around it. All right? That's what I would do for that. And since I have y'all and you're captive, I will go ahead and I prepared so you can see how to do the silkscreen. I went ahead and I prepared a plate. It's just bisque plate. Instead of easy strokes, though, I have concepts on it. It's base coated with, what is the base coated? Chartreuse. I'm going to shut the Cricut thing off. Okay, and then I went back and I put some neon orange and some red. All right? And so I'm going to turn the phone down as much as I can. Hopefully. We'll see. I might have to move it to the other one. Let me move it to the other one. There we go. Sorry, guys. You can hear me now, right? All right, let's get up here to this one. Put it up here, maybe. Maybe it'll work better. Ah. Oh, yeah, slid a lot better. Anyway. Well, slap me. I lied about it. Fell off the table. What did I do? What did I do? Break it? Maybe I broke it. I don't know. Maybe not. It looks like the gizmo fell apart. Okay. All right. So we're not going to deal with that. We'll just put it on this top of this one here. There's more. Sorry, guys. I pushed the dang wrong thing. All right, let's see. Let's see if I could get you down there somehow. Let me tell you. You know what I did? I bought a. Well, I'll raise it up while I do it, okay? Anyway, so what I'm going to do really quick, I'm going to take this one that I did. Says the pumpkin spice and everything nice. This is the one, look, I forgot to weed the zero, so, or the O, maybe the product will go through. But what I have to do real quick is put the blue around it, okay? So I'm going to do that. Stabilize it, because otherwise, you see how it's curling? That'd drive me totally insane. So, and this one here, my fabric didn't go all the way to the bottom, so it curled a little bit. So I could cut it off. All right. Now, I made this to go on that piece of where, but I could have made it a little bit smaller. I'm going to go ahead and put the tape in it, and I might have to manipulate it a little bit to put it where I want to put it on that plate. All right? So I'm going to first do this. Has anybody online not used the Silkscreen medium before? Or everybody has, or nobody has, or... Well, I know some of you guys have. For sure. Rita's watching. Marlene's there. The picture's frozen. Is it frozen now? Is it okay? Might be my internet. You haven't. Chuck hasn't. Okay. Well, we're gonna show you how to do that, Chuck. So I'm putting my tape down on this particular one here. You can see, oh, maybe you can see it. Maybe. There you go. You know what? I could maybe I could. I'm gonna cheat here. You guys think I'm nuts, but let's see. Let's see. Maybe a little bit you can see me. I got the edge of the phone rigged up there. So basically what I'm doing this same way. I'm taking the tape and I'm just turning it. And I'm taping it down. I'm gonna have all these little pieces of tape everywhere, all over my office. So I'm going to put up a paper. I'm going to put it all on one. I'm going to put the stencil stuff on one paper and also the Silkscreen on the paper. And I'm going to put the suppliers that I use on there. So you'll have all that information on one paper. So basically, the only difference is, you know, you're using the Silkscreen instead of the stencil vinyl. Okay, and also when you're doing the stencil vinyl, now look at, I got that, if you see that really quick, I got the pumpkin really close to the edge. So I'm only going to be able to grab the edge just a little bit, which is okay. I'm going to try to move it down a little bit here. So it's a little bit wrinkled on that side, but it doesn't matter because this is it's only for me to use. Okay, I want to make sure that, there we go. I got a couple wrinkles on that this time. This is a little bit bigger than the last ones I've been making. Anyway, so I have the blue on it, on the top and the bottom. See how much it stabilizes it? It's not curling up on the edge anymore. I like to use the vinyl that's a bright color. So when I'm going to look for them, I can find them in my heaps of unknown ceramic hoarder supplies, I'll call it. How's that? So this little leaf is close to the edge too, but that's okay. She's got a little bit more room than it did up there. So I'm going to turn that like that. Turn that like this. Flip it down and just using my finger. Okay. We did these when I was in Dothan, and Rita was there, and Kim has a Cricut, but she didn't know how to use it. So we introduced her to the wonderful world of Cricut. A little bit. She hadn't even used it. Well, she used it for a few things, I guess. So now when you're making, like I said, if you were making a stencil, you would not mirror because it would be straight down. But when you're doing HTV, because you're actually ironing it on, then you have to mirror. Otherwise, your words are going to be backwards. Okay. So I'm just doing this one really quick. Tape everywhere. It's hot in Florida, guys. I don't know where you're all at. but haven't used HTV or the Silkscreen fabric. Is the blue tape painter's tape? Yes, it is. It's just cheap old painter's tape. I have frog tape here too, but you know, I thought the blue just works really well. And the thing is, when you're done with these, you know, you use them, they're reusable. So I make sure that the tape is down really good. And when we're done doing our silk screening, you just make sure the tape is down again. And you just take them in the bathroom and you wash them, or the sink, and wash them off. Now, I will say, you do not want the Silkscreen medium to be setting on in the screen just drawing dust, because if it dries up, it's going to be hard to come out, and then you won't be able to use it again. All right? Probably won't matter for this one because I'm just showing you how to do it. So I'm going to just move this around here like this. I'm going to bring that plate over that I had played with, all right? And if you see, what I'm going to do here is that I made it a little bit big, but I think I can manipulate it when I start doing this to be just like that. I don't know what I'll do with the edges, but I'm going to, so it will work. So I want to make sure, because I made like a stripe on it, I want to make sure that my wording isn't going, you know, crazy uphill or crazy downhill. Crazy uphill or crazy downhill. Okay, so I'm just leaving it in here. So this is how I'm going to put it on. Okay? Now, what I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to move it over here for a minute. I know we did this one here, but I'm going to just move it. I have it in how I want it placed, basically. All right? So, now the Silkscreen stuff. I'm using Black Concepts. And I'm using Mako's Silkscreen Medium. And we're going to mix this up on my palette, or my wonderful little, there we can see. Now you can see it a little bit better. Now all I'm looking for is something to mix it with here. Hang on here. Where are you? Here they are. I don't know, every time I go somewhere I lose something. I can't find my pickers. The other thing is now it seems like the crazy palette knife is missing. Par for the course. Alright, hang on, let me go through here again. Let me see. Brushes everywhere. Alright, I'm going to move this here and look in this a little bit better. That's what happens when you carry so much stuff with you all the time. Sometimes you just don't know where anything is at. I know this is sacrilege, but I'm going to use the back end of a handle to do this with. How sad is that, huh? I guess I'm not very prepared, because I could have swore that there was something in here to stir with, but that's okay. We're going to make do. So, I think you can see me. Let me see, maybe. I'm going to take the block, the trusty. Okay. We'll put those little foofies over there. Let's see, that's a pretty big size pile. So I'm going to maybe make about that much. Okay. And what you do, you could actually make this up ahead of time and store it in one of those little containers, okay? The Silkscreen medium. I'm going to find something to stir this with sooner or later. Is you just put tiny bit in here at a time. Now, that's probably too much since I just sort of spilled it. But the jar, when you buy it's really full. See? I barely made a dent in it. It's powder. And you could use it with any color. Alright? And what you do is we're going to stir it up, and we're going to keep stirring. And I don't know if anybody of you guys are like China painter people. Oh, there's some stuff over here. Sorry, I'm sharing my office with the dog tonight. Anyway, new brushes, old brushes. Okay, yeah, you're gonna love this. Alright. Guess what I'm gonna stir with? Told you I was in my office, right? Letter opener. There's more than one way to skin a cat. Alright, so you're gonna start mushing this like this. And you see how it's thickening up. You're gonna, if you're a China painter, remember how you used to have a medium and you put your little China paint out on the tile, and you ground in the glass or the China paint into it? Well, that's sort of what you're doing here. You're pushing it in, you're making a pile, and you're going to just keep on working it, and you want it to get thick like toothpaste, okay? See, like there's some there. You don't want it lumpy, if you can help it. I'm just going to keep working it. Can you see me working it? I think you can. Let's see. Does the Mako Silkscreen medium work with any underglazes like Duncan Easy Stroke? It probably will, but the deal is, if you're using Easy Stroke is not made for opaque coverage. It's made for translucent. So I don't think you're going to get the effect that you want. And also, Easy Stroke, yeah, we use it on bisque, but, you know, it was originally formulated for greenware. And so it's not going to be translucent, opaque. And remember, if you put too many coats of Easy Stroke on a project, it will flake off. So I wouldn't use it with Easy Stroke. I would use it with, obviously, Concepts. I would use it with Stroke and Coat. Colors for Earth product. Okay. Or Colorobia. But I definitely would not use it for Easy Stroke. Who asked me that? I don't know who asked me that. Somebody. Why would you want to use it with Easy Stroke? We're using Silkscreens, and that's for opaque coverage, normally. Unless you didn't have if you didn't have the other product available, I understand. Okay, so this is still not thick enough, guys. It needs to be a little bit thicker. I know I have a few little lumps in there. It's okay. So my finger's going to mush them out. So I'm going to just put a little bit more stuff in here. Now, so one of the studios mixes a bunch of this stuff up and has it readily available with silk screens for their students to use, all in different colors. So that's something you might think about if you have a studio. It'd be a pretty good idea if you were having kids come over and use a silk screen. If you were, it'd be a great project. I know of a church group that did like a cross with flowers, and the shop actually silk screened it all on there, And then when the church gals came to paint, they actually painted it after it was fired with the silkscreen on it, and then fired it again. So the design was already there. All they had to do is like a color book thing. Okay. It's pretty good, I think. I'm gonna hope it is. Sort of looks like toothpaste, you think? Okay, so here we go. Good or bad? Well, that's pretty good. I'm going to move this out of my way. I'm going to put this over here. And basically, I'm going to get my paper towel because I'm a messy Bessie. I'm going to get the project over here and put it on this table. I'm going to just move this underneath the light stand. Here's the project. Okay. Now I haven't moved it. I'll check the placement again. I think that's pretty good. And so what I'm going to do, what you should always do is start in the middle and come out. So I'm going to put it on my finger and I'm going to rub it in, okay? Now, I might decide to lift it after I get the pumpkins done, okay? But you have to be sort of careful when I do it. Okay, so here we go. I got it on my finger. And I'm going to start here in the middle. And I'm rubbing. Okay? I'm rubbing. I'm holding it down with my other fingers. And I'm rubbing. And rubbing. Rubbing, rubbing. And the color's going in to the stencil. Can you see? Can you guys see? Okay. So the blue is there. So I'm rubbing. I'm rubbing. Going from the middle of the stencil out. Chuck, I hope you're still there so you can see this. Okay. I'm rubbing. Going in a circle. I mean, this is a pretty big one. Okay, and I'm going up here on the edge a little bit. Now, if you were doing this right on bisque, it grabs really good. Okay? But I am doing it on top of paint. So, okay, now I'm going to do the little pumpkin. You see how nice it is that you have that blue edge there, so you know you don't go over the edge of that. Okay. Alright, so it's pretty much up in there, I think. Hopefully it didn't smear it. Okay, now, I got the pumpkin done. I'm just going to go right ahead into the wording. Okay? Can y'all see? Alright, Chuck, there you're there. I see you there, Chuck. So I'm sort of going to go again in the middle. Now, I had the green on this platter painted for a day or a couple days, but I just went before you guys all got online and put the red and the orange on. So, but it dried pretty quick, so that's pretty good. So I'm just using my finger. I hopefully you can see me using my finger, and I'm swirling it like a swirly motion. And when you do that, it sort of just like glues it down. Okay? So And you want to lift it before it dries, basically. Going up to the word pumpkin now. I'm just swirling it in. Gonna get over here to the edge of the P. So what happens is if you don't have your paint thick enough, it could bleed under the stencil. Now this one, this part of the stencil is a little bit crazy, but anyway. All right, I think I got it. Okay, here we go. The moment of truth. First, let me wipe my little black finger off, because I'm gonna get black on this thing. I know I will. It'll be black everywhere. Told you, I'm a messy Bessie. I warned you. Okay, here we go. Up, 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 up. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Oh, let's see. Let me just flip it around. Now, I think it could have been maybe just a little bit thick. But I could go back with a little brush and put a little bit in there to... What do you guys think? Huh? That's not so bad, huh? Pumpkin spice everything. Look at, I actually got the words pretty straight on the color. So, once it dries, if you need to, you could go back with a brush and touch it up if you need to. I know my things here. I'm gonna have to get a new. Anyway, so I know you can. It's backwards for you, but that's the whole scheme of things. So, who has questions? Anybody have any questions? No questions? So you understand, so now, so I have this thing, it's all nasty black, right? So I would just go put it in water. I would just put it in water. But I have, for now, I have some water, and I have a paper plate. And I'm just going to put the water in the paper plate, because it's one of those, you know, what do you call a paper plate? It's sort of bowed. So I'm just going to put some, just so it doesn't get totally dry while I'm talking. I'm going to just dump it right in there. Just like that. So it'll stay moist. Okay, now. Sorry I'm late. That's all right, Val. We did a pumpkin. I'll show you. Did you just get in right now? Let's see. So you could reuse that. Yes, of course, Pam. Yes, you use it. That's why instead of a stencil, we're making a silk screen. As soon as you finish putting your black or your color, then you're going to go in the bathroom or washroom or wherever you wash your, and you're just going to run the water right through it. So here's the piece that we did, Val. I know it's backwards, but okay. I think my, I had my, my medium a little bit thick. A decal or a stencil would be easier. Well, Chuck, that all depends. How's that sound? It's okay to use a stencil. And actually, what did I do? I cut a stencil earlier today. This was the stencil that we used last week, if you went in earlier. So I cut a stencil today, earlier before you guys got on. And I was going to do this project, and it actually has It's all over stencil. And I'm going to show it to you here. I'm just going to weed a couple pieces out of it, because it just keeps on going and going, like Energizer Bunny here. And so what I was going to do was do this stencil on the background. Then I was going to silk screen on top of it. And it's a really sort of it's an all over leather look design. It's sort of like how how that gal did her overlook design, see? The stencil. But the problem is you're doing all this work, Chuck, and you can only use it one time. Okay? It would be much better if you had to pick it, okay? If you turned it into a silk screen, that way you could use it more than once. This is one of the ones we had at your place, Val, that I gave you on the jump drive. Chuck, yeah, you're new to Silkscreen. Well, we're all new to it. Okay, so the difference is that you can't reuse it, right? Yes, exactly. You cannot reuse the stencil. Well, I shouldn't say you can't. Most of the time you can't. No problem, Chuck. Anybody have any more questions? I know I'm sort of crooked here, but I'm going to get a different stand, I guess. Because this one just... I blew the top holder. The ring's good, though. Yeah. All right, any other questions? How long did I go tonight, guys? An hour and 10? An hour and 20? Yeah, that's pretty good. Not too bad. So, wasn't as fast as I'd like, but I think you all understood the process, how you gotta do the Cricut or whatever. The silk screen can be more detailed. Well, it could be, but I mean, the stencil could be too. But the thing is about the silk screen, you could use it over and over again. Although, if you wanted to use a multicolor, it gets a little tricky. You know, if you were doing, let's say, that particular pumpkin, and it was a one-time use gizmo, you could do the pumpkins like orange and maybe the leaves green. Thank you, Pam. I'm just sort of raw. This is what you get. You know. And I don't normally, like I say, video from my office. It's a crazy mess in here. You're welcome. You're welcome, Chuck. I'm glad you got the gist of it. So you could, this will go in my replay too. Yeah, the paisley background on Alabama and the elephant. I'll try to find that and I'll post it. It was really nice. It did look good. So she basically did one silk screen for the whole back. Then she waited for it to dry. Then she did an elephant on the side. And then she did the words Alabama down the side. Also, the edges around the design to stick down the stencil is not. That's true. All right, so Val will share it to my group. Oh, and Chuck's in Charlotte. Okay. Well, you never know where I'm going to be. Up and down the highway. I'll teach wherever somebody could get, 6 to 10 people. Just so happens Alabama's been the #1 place lately. Well, I did have a group of ladies from Michigan come down to my brother's in Indiana, and then I've been teaching in Butler occasionally. So, anyhow. So, is there any more questions? Because if there's no questions, you guys might want to tell me, so my Make It Mondays for next week, what would you guys like to see? Hey, Lewis. I loved your dive pictures. What would you guys like for me to teach next week, or just do a little demo on? Oh, I don't know. You guys better tell me, or I'm going to have to come up with something. Just come up with something? Well, you're not helpful. Maybe I'll say, give me anything, Pam, anything. Oh my gosh, okay. Maybe it'll be hard. Maybe I'll think about making it hard next week. Maybe it'll be, have you guys all blown spongets? You want spongets next week? Come up with something. Oh, I'll come up with something. Bubbles? You want to blow bubbles? Oh, or the pins? Well, I could do the pins too. Oh, everything. Slip trailing? Oh, slip trailing you usually got to do on greenware. I'm not pouring between now and next week. Bubbles. Bubbles. Sue Ellen, haven't you done bubbles before? Val, have you done bubbles before? Yeah, the new pins from Rachel. We could do that too. I know you've done it. Sponges on a bubble background. I did that with the poppy plate. But how about if I do, you don't know, but because she doesn't know what a sponget is. Oh, we're going to have to educate you. It's I don't have one in here. It's a special sponge that Rachel Bias designed, and they're cut with a laser printer, and I'm the U.S. distributor for hers. They're from the U.K. Okay? So maybe next week, what I'll do bubbles and spongets. But it'll be some kind of nautical thing. So either going to be seashells or seahorses. Hopefully I have some left. You guys bought a bunch of stuff, but I think I have that left. Okay? So Pam, if you look at my Drew's Mud Zone, you'll see spongets in there. Okay? So that's what we'll do next week. Spongets with bubbles. Ugh. Can't wait to get the new ones. Yeah, I got to go back through your orders and see what we have. So I'll get to it. So, all right. Unless you guys got more questions for me, I'm going to hang up. Everything's good? All right. Well, until I see you again next week, make it Monday. So maybe if I make it Monday, you might think about making it by Friday. And if you do, you know the story. Post the pictures. Okie dokie. All right. Love y'all. Hi, Kathy. All right, babies. Talk to you later. Good night.